Jack. What's up, dude?
What's up, dude?
Welcome back. What's up, man? Nobody Asked Podcast, episode 3.
That's right.
Is here.
Number 3.
Number tres.
Who asked?
Nobody asked. But we're here anyway, and that's what makes this podcast so much fun. So get over it. What's been new with us, bro?
Dude, just had a cool ass camping trip.
Yeah, camping trip with the boys. Yeah, so
we little red.
we took a 2-hour trip out to the wilderness, and we spent a weekend camping out. We listened to country music, and we were out in the lake in the kayaks all week.
With a couple brewskis.
Man, I woke up Saturday morning. I had my energy drink. I got my prime energy drink. Not sponsored. I'm not a big fan of the Pauls, but here we are. I spent my money on them anyway. Got up, drank that sucker, got in the lake on my kayak, and I was sipping brewskis.
Dude, it was sick, man.
That moment. It was fun.
I'll put up some Polaroids of it. We took 10 of them.
Yeah.
10 of them.
You didn't post the poetic one.
No, because it looked like shit.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. I don't want to hear that, bro. Blurry picture of a fire.
Blurry ass picture of a fire, and he's like, "Dude, that looks so poetic."
It did. It's not my fault. You don't understand modern art.
Okay. Maybe we just have different tastes.
So yeah, camping trip. My dad owns a lake. He's got some property out in the woods. Nice little lake, little dock out there. We got a nice big old 8-person tent. Even though I don't buy that.
No, it's pretty much we bought a $90 Ozark Trail 8-person tent. And I was like, this is a little too good to be true. And we got it, and I was like, yeah, you could comfortably fit 4 in here, snug 5.
Yeah. So I never brought anyone out to my dad's lake before.
Yeah.
What were you expecting? Like you, because you'd never really seen any pictures of it or anything. So like what
I've seen a picture of the plateau, and that was it.
Okay.
So I mean, it was I thought it was better than what I expected, but I didn't expect like something bad. Like
no,
I was
sure.
just
you
I
didn't
can't
expect
really
some hick camping spot.
Bro,
okay.
I mean, it was pretty hick by where the restroom situation
What if we had gotten there and like, none of you had ever seen it before and it's just some fucking dump? There's like nothing out there. It's like a little like greasy pond.
Bro, it's like this is the Johnson Heritage.
We're here. We're here for the weekend. Yeah. It is out in a bluff. It's like, so the plateau you mentioned, my dad, his property is up like, I think it's 2,000 feet above sea level.
Yeah.
So you're driving up these back roads for 30, 40 minutes.
I mean, it's in the sticks.
It is. I mean, like, there's a solid like 30, 40 minutes you're driving up there, and there ain't shit out there.
There's nothing.
And you're going up the mountains the entire time. What's crazy, and we talked about this, there ain't shit out there, man.
Nope.
Like, not at all. Like, if you're gonna go grocery shopping, you're driving 40 minutes away.
Yeah.
Not the life for me.
What's crazy though is there was some service out there.
Yeah, the service wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
But here's a question for you, Jarrett.
Yeah.
Something we talked about.
Here's an answer.
I feel like some crazy shit goes on in places like that. Probably a lot of drugs,
Dude, if you get murdered out there, no one's gonna know.
Yeah.
No one's gonna know.
That's what I was getting at. I'm telling you, you could probably, I'm not saying you would do this, you could probably grab some fucking wire and walk into someone's house and strangle them out there. No one would know for days.
No.
I mean, it's just so remote.
That's how remote it is. And there's tons of places like that in more than just Tennessee. It's insane.
So definitely a big change of flavor from what we're used to. But that's what made it so good. Being out there in the woods over the weekend. So
it was good. I actually have been wanting to go camping for a while. I haven't been since I was little. And I like being outside, but like I don't like going with like nothing. Obviously, I'm gonna bring like my basic stuff, But I like going out there, just being in a tent, waking up, having a drink, and going kayaking.
No showers. Yeah, wrap it up
that
the whole weekend.
But
shower.
It actually wasn't that bad.
Shower when we got back, hit good. Promise you that. But
dude, I still love the toilet situation your dad fabbed up.
Yeah, there's no power, there's no electricity out there. I mean, it's a little it's like 20 acres.
Yeah.
But where we camped, it was probably what, like a couple like acre or two we camped on.
I don't know if it was even. It was probably an acre and a half, something like that.
Yeah, and it was all cleared out. You could walk around, everything. Grass was mowed. But there's also no plumbing out there. There's no bathroom.
There will be power and plumbing. I think that's what he said the plan was.
Yeah, eventually. Eventually we'll get it. So my dad, bless his soul, he went out there and toiled And he dug us a little shit pot, like a little shit pit for us to piss and shit in. And it's honestly not too bad. Like, had a little curtain, it was private. Minus all the deer and shit that surround you when you're trying to take a shit.
Yeah. Of course, Kane was the only one to use it.
Yeah, our good friend Kane decided that none of us wanted to use it, but our good friend Kane didn't mind at all, and I think he shit like 4 or 5 times when we were out there.
Yeah.
What? It was crazy.
Bro was proud.
Yeah. I feel like he was getting excited. He was like, "Oh, I get to go sit on the shit pot."
Well, he know none of us were gonna use it.
Yeah. But that was definitely fun. But yeah, and there's a lot of good hiking spots out there. There were a couple that we talked about going out to, but really we just kind of hung out in the lake all weekend.
Yeah,
just got some sun. I know you got some sun,
dude. It's not hurting anymore today, but it is starting to turn into a good tan.
Yeah.
But now my face is just naturally red, so it always looks like I'm sunburnt. But it did kind of get a little burnt. My traps are still like raw, but.
Yeah, I got a good tan. I got an arm tan. Yeah. Everything else is still kind of pale.
White.
Yeah, just that's my genetics for you. My arms get super tan for no reason. Everything else stays pale.
It's the Jack bloodline, the Johnson bloodline.
But yeah, so we were out there for 2 nights. It was a super fun little trip.
It was awesome.
Something that we discovered on this camping trip is that we are beta males.
Bro, yeah, we were disappointments.
Yeah. We spent, 2 hours trying to get a fire going?
I'm not going to say yes or no to that.
Yeah, no comment from him. Hey, listen, I'll tell you what. I take most of the responsibility for getting the fire going.
That first
night, bro. I was blowing on it. I was sitting out there with it, dude. I was coddling it, man. I was being patient with it.
Yeah.
And y'all two were being little wimps and went in the tent and didn't want to do anything.
Literally didn't give a shit because it was 1 a.m.
And I was like, listen, because our friend Kane, he couldn't make it out until like 1 o'clock the first night, and so I was
it was nice when he got there though.
Kane is not about to show up with no fire and all of us going to fucking sleep. I
commend you. You were determined. Now looking back on it, I thought it was. I appreciate that. But.
So. And the fire wasn't a roaring fire when he got there, but I got something going.
You did.
So, and he showed up. We went out there.
It was a learning experience for sure.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I'm trying to think. Like, you have like a favorite thing we did, or like a favorite memory from the trip?
Honestly, I think just kayaking out there and like coming up, drinking, and then when I'd play guitar around the fire, we were all singing. Like, yeah, it was nice. I wasn't thinking about home the entire time. Like,
I wasn't either, man. Yeah. And I barely got on my phone, other than to play music, and I texted like 1 or 2 people.
I got on my phone to play music, and I put. I'll explain it later, but I had to like do something car related, because that car I was talking about, they found one, and I was able to put a safety deposit down. So I like did that shit right away, like I had to. But other than that, was pretty much it.
Yeah, so it felt good, like, being off screens for a weekend, because I know I'm someone who spends a lot of time on screens, probably too much time, and partly because it's, I have to for my job, but, it's definitely good to just de-screen for a couple days, but yeah, I mean, camping, I hadn't been camping in a couple of years. It was super refreshing. We went lake swimming, we went kayaking.
It was great.
Lot of fun. So, and while we were out there, this is super fun. When we were around the campfire, we were playing songs like you said, and dude, the guitar, an absolute must for any camping trip. Dude, you will have a way more fun camping trip if you get someone out there who can play guitar, know some bangers. You're around the campfire with your friends, and you're playing some songs. It's just, dude, part of the camping. It was a good idea. It's part of the camping starter pack. I feel like you got to have a guitar out there.
I think, by the way, when I was singing out there, that was probably the best I've ever sounded in a while. Because it was just with an acoustic guitar by the fire. I was so like at ease. Like I wasn't even like when I'm in here recording like my little cringy ass TikToks I make. Like I'm stressed about like making sure the solo's good or my voice isn't off key, and then in turn you hear how stressed I am, and it's like out there just with an acoustic guitar and songs I've written. Like it was nice.
Yeah. This is actually I don't know what made me want to play this song, but this is when you guys were in the tent and I was out there by the fire.
Oh, I heard it. Trust me.
I was playing Jungle Land by Bruce. Dude. And
the best songs ever.
I've actually never listened to that album all the way through, Born to Run.
Really?
My mom, she was 8 years old when that album came out, and I mean, she's been a Bruce fan her entire life. She's listened to all of it.
I mean, we
she's
both
seen him a
grew
couple
up on
times.
that.
Yeah, and our parents both have similar tastes when it comes to music, and so we were both exposed to a lot of music other kids our age were not exposed to, and so Bruce was always playing in my house, and I know a lot of his music. Like I don't know it all by heart. I don't know every album. I don't know every song.
Yeah.
But Jungle Land is one that I've always liked, and I was just kind of like, let's do some Bruce Springsteen. It's a 10-minute anthem, and I was out there listening to it, and it really just kind of spoke to me. I really understood like what he was trying to say, and it builds.
It's a story,
and it's paced so well. I mean, you have a good guitar solo, and then you get into the sax solo, the 3-minute long Clarence Clemens masterpiece.
Dude.
And it builds, and then you've got the last minute of the song
is insane.
So much soul in his voice. I mean, he's not even saying anything. He's just belting it all out. Yeah. The piano's going crazy.
Dude, when I'd like sing covers and like in here or whatever, and I'm playing to Jungle Land, like I don't even feel like I'm in the room. Even listening to it and playing with it, like doing those like howls and screams he does at the end is like, it's insane. And I wish more people like our age like actually understood how good, just for this example, like Born to Run and that era of Bruce is so well written, and it's like the whole thing is retro right now. This music still holds up. It has aged very well.
Yeah, this album's almost 50 years old. It does not sound like it. No. At least to me. I really don't think it's aged like that at all. And once again, I think I've probably heard every song just at some point growing up. I've heard Born to Run a bunch of times, Thunder Road a bunch of times. But I really feel like, to me, it just feels like the epitome of creative expression. Dude. It was like everything came together.
They put everything into that album.
Yes.
I think I watched like some documentary clip about it. They were in there for so long, and like Bruce does, I don't know if he was doing this back then, but at least now, from what I've heard from people who like work with him on tour and stuff like that, is he will go into the studio and do one take, and that's it. On guitar, on vocals, that's it, because he thinks that's how it's meant to be. Like,
interesting.
And I think that is so cool. Like, even if you mess up, that's part of it. It's raw.
Yeah, yeah, and that's cool. And you got to think too, the E Street Band. And while Clarence isn't here anymore, and I'm sure there are a couple other members that aren't around anymore. They have such a chemistry. And they all like it's almost like they're a family, and everyone is of the mind of like, we're going to create something amazing. And like every instrument, every hand that plays every instrument is in this harmony. Yeah. It's just so cool.
And the thing is, that band is, people don't understand how insanely talented and good they are. They don't even have to like talk before. They could go do a show without sound check. Their sound checks now are like 30 minutes, 45 minutes, like 15, 30 minutes, because they're that good. Like, obviously they know the number system, but they're past that now. Like, they are so intellectually connected. Like, Max, for example, like his hearing is getting a bit worse. He's the drummer for Bruce. His son actually drums for Slipknot, Jake Weinberg. But he can, like, as long as he has eyes on Bruce and what he's doing, like, he's locked. That whole band's locked. It's insane how good they are. Like, they're the reason Bruce is the reason I picked this guitar to be my guitar, and I learned why. Because it's versatile with every kind of music you play: country, rock, jazz, blues, anything. And their band is a mixture of all that. Like, it's its own sound. Like,
I agree.
Their band is insane.
So yeah, very cool stuff. I was reading that Clarence Clemens' solo took 16 hours. On Jungle Land, his solo took 16 hours.
That's what I mean, and that's just the saxophone.
Yeah, and Bruce oversaw the entire process, and I guess let him cook. It took 16 hours.
And there's on the live 78 to 86 album or whatever, hearing his live solos with that reverb of like arenas and stadiums is like, there's almost nothing like it. It's its own experience. It's like how you go to a Coldplay show, and they play their most favorite or most well-known songs, and you see all the lights on the people's wristbands from up top. It's its own musical experience listening to him play. Like,
Yeah. Well, you and I are in luck because we're gonna go see him.
hell yeah, we
this
are.
year.
Well, yeah, we're gonna go see Bruce. His nephew, don't quote me on that. Jake Clemens is the current saxophone player. He started with them in 2012, 2013, whenever he passed. And then I gotta give him credit for how quickly he learned all those songs and solos. And he's playing with Bruce, and he's obviously gotten more comfortable and more familiar with the band. So he starts to gradually sound better and more loose, as all musicians are. Like when they first learn something, like when I'm posting a song or writing a song, it sounds very not choppy, but to the page, I would say. And then as you get more familiar with a song or a band or an instrument or anything like that, it becomes more loose and you can improvise.
It's more dynamic.
Yes.
As time goes on.
Yeah,
that's cool. So yeah, we'll be going to see Bruce this fall.
Yeah, probably in December.
So
we'll have to see.
Looking like we're gonna try and head out to California.
We're hoping.
Still trying to figure that out. But that'll be my first time seeing him live, and it might be the only chance that I really get because he's 73. Is that what it said? We were looking at it a little while ago.
Yeah,
he's in his 70s now.
Yeah.
So he's getting old, and I mean he's still a great performer.
His shows are still 3 hours long.
There's a reason they call him the boss.
Yeah,
he's a great performer. His shows are still.
My dad works with him. He's on tour with him right now. He works for him, and he sent me clips of the shows of overseas. They're in Amsterdam right now, and it's like even if they're still fucking rocking out. It's awesome.
Yeah, love to see it.
It's awesome.
So we're definitely looking forward to that. I know both of us as well are big fans of Spider-Man. We've talked about this before.
Oh yeah.
And we got Across the Spider-Verse. That's the big topic right now. I mean, dude, I don't have TikTok right now. I have a weird relationship with TikTok.
Yeah, you do.
I deleted it for a while, then I get it again. But when I did have TikTok, I don't have it right now. All I was seeing was Across the Spider-Verse.
That's all I was saying.
The main reason.
That's
I got
all
rid
I'm
of it.
still saying.
Didn't want to get spoiled.
Is the Miguel O'Hara
their algorithm knows that we're on some Spider-Man shit, man. Like it knows that's what we're into. The music is phenomenal in that movie.
Yes. Now
it is insane.
Coming from somebody that doesn't really listen to hip hop or rap that much, like this soundtrack, I have it downloaded now. Like it's awesome. I love it. Like for example, Miguel O'Hara's theme is pretty cool. Gwen's theme is good, and the song. Are we gonna talk about spoilers in this?
Okay.
Yeah,
it's in spoiler warning.
Yeah,
we're gonna talk spoilers.
It's near the first third of the film. Like when they're catching that helicopter with all the webs, that song they're playing is awesome with the whole percussion. It's awesome.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, the soundtrack's great. Yeah. I have a couple standouts for me. Because there is the soundtrack and there's also Metro Boomin's soundtrack as well.
Yeah.
Both great, both really good. But for the score, the final track they play,
dude,
as everything's building up,
so good.
And there is a big reveal at the end that I won't get into exactly at the moment. But the music that plays during that part is just it hits so well, so good. I've gone back and listened to it a bunch. But this movie is it's everyone's talking about it right now. It's the biggest thing
as they should be
in theaters. I think it really blew everyone away.
Dude, I didn't know what was going to happen. Like all I knew was that Miles was like for some reason not supposed to be in the Spider Society, and that was it. And like I know, like halfway through the movie, I was like, where the fuck are they gonna go with this? And right when I thought it was over, it had 30 minutes left. Yeah, like it was like I love this movie.
I was a big fan of the first one, Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah,
and I was really excited for this, and they delivered 100%. This movie builds really steadily, kind of slowly. It feels a little bit like a setup movie.
Yeah,
just a little bit, but it still gives you a lot. It gives you a lot to chew on in this movie.
Yeah,
and it builds and builds, and it culminates in this ending that's just insane. And it's
amazing.
It is a cliffhanger. To me, this is like the Empire Strikes Back of of like a recent trilogy.
Yeah.
You know, it really does feel that way.
Yeah.
It's a little bit darker. It's a little bit, it got the cliffhanger ending, so really excited to see where it goes. But Jared, what did you think about the first Spider-Verse movie, and how do you feel like this one stacked up against it?
So the first Spider-Verse movie, obviously, it was kind of a new thing, like the music and the art style, and Miles being the protagonist. It was something refreshing, and that when I first saw it, I thought it was pretty good. But like in the last episode, Peter Parker is just like my favorite character, and then so I always connected with him more. But I did like the first movie, and this second one just like even further the point that Miles is a good character for me.
Oh, he's great.
Like I loved it.
Miles.
I love this, and it was awesome. Like I was on the edge of my seat for the second half of that movie.
Oh, dude, it's intense. Like, it's a kids movie. You know, it's PG. It's intense. Last 30, 40 minutes. I mean, you're. I remember I was just like, bro, I'm locked in, man.
Yeah.
I got to see where this goes. And the movie is just so stimulating. I mean, it's throwing things at you, left and right, and it's constantly reinventing itself and finding ways to be different and to switch things up every second. And that's with, the art style, which there are several in this one because they, we have a lot of different, universes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sneeze.
While Jack's sneezing, onto the art styles. I love Spider-Punk, his animation style. Like, even when he's in the Spider Society HQ, like the way he's edited with his frame rate, the art style, the colors, like every frame it looks different and it looks awesome. Like on one frame it looks like he's drawn on paper, but then he looks real, and then it looks like crayon drawn. It's awesome. Like
they really took their time with this one,
dude,
and it shows. And we're supposed to get Beyond the Spider-Verse next year. Next March. We'll see if that sticks. I'm not sure if it will. I'm expecting a delay, most likely. We'll see. Hopefully we still get it next year. But it is just so stimulating, and they really nailed a style here. And I think it's just such a cool, it's cool for Spider-Man fans. It's just a cool pop culture moment, I think, with what they're doing with these animated films. And they could have just let the first one be, and it could have been its own little offshoot project, and it was. But I gotta say, I'm glad we're getting more. I'm glad that we're getting the trilogy. We need more well done, animated films that can appeal to kids and adults, that are a little bit more mature to them, I think, too. And so that's definitely what we're getting with this. And I think in an era too where Disney is not being as successful as they used to be, with Pixar, you're getting a lot of films that aren't performing well. Like I know Elemental is coming out this weekend, and that is going to be a flop for sure. DreamWorks has their weird Kraken, teenage Kraken movie coming out, which looks very strange, and I don't think is going to do well either. And you have, you got Spider-Verse coming out, and it's everyone's loving it. So I think, my nose is killing me. I think.
Bro, you gonna sneeze?
Bro,
just let it out.
I'm fighting right now, man. I'm fighting to make it happen. So I think I'm excited that we're getting more stuff like this, and I think Disney is gonna have to take some notes from Sony over here with what they're doing. And I think Pixar is going to have to change up their formula a little bit, dude, because what they've been doing for the past couple of decades clearly isn't working anymore.
Well, they're just making obviously this isn't a justified answer, but they're making a bunch of movies nobody asked for, which obviously, like I said, is not a justified that's my opinion. And
well,
it's
you got to take things new directions. I mean,
exactly.
We wouldn't have Cars. I mean, think about how weird of a concept Cars is.
Yeah.
We're gonna take some talking cars, and we're gonna make them. We're gonna make a movie about it. But people love Cars.
Yeah.
I just think
I commend them for making new decisions and doing things, but it's just
Disney Plus is killing them.
Yeah.
Because all these movies, regardless if it's Pixar or Disney animated or a live action remake or whatever. They go straight to the service within 3 months. And I mean, some of them go to the service in 45 days, which is ridiculous. I mean, as I've gotten older, I've noticed movies stay in theaters for a lot less time than they used to before they're dropped onto a streaming service somewhere. And so, these parents were looking at it and they're like, well, why would I take my kid to go see this when it's going to be on Disney Plus in a couple of weeks. So I don't know. I just think I'm glad Across the Spider-Verse is doing well. I think it's showing studios that they can take things in bold new directions, and because Pixar is all about pushing the boundaries of animation, and we're going to make things look as good as possible. And they've shown that continuously. And it's people over at Sony Animation are just like, we're going to throw everything at this, and we're going to go a bold new direction, and it's paying off. It really is.
Yeah.
Getting back to Spider-Verse, I guess, what did the movie do for you? You feel like was like your favorite moment for the movie? Like what were your favorite things that this movie did overall?
I mean, I can tell you one of my favorite moments for sure. Like,
Sure.
I love when...
And remember, we are talking spoilers.
Yeah, this is
here.
spoiler territory.
Spoiler talk, big time here.
When Miles is in the HQ, and this is probably a lot of people's favorite, and he's looking at all these canon events of like all these Uncle Bens and Gwen's dying, and like, but he just like, he doesn't get why all of these spider people are accepting, even in the future. Like, he was like, Gwen, isn't your dad about to become captain? And she's like, yeah. Like, he doesn't understand how all these people are just accepting it. And you got my boy Spectacular Spider-Man. He's just like, it is what it is, dog. And like, it's just a powerful moment. He's like, we can do both. And they're like, no. But even like some spider people in there agree with him. And it's a very powerful, that was a very adult feeling moment in that movie for me. I love that whole sequence in the HQ. When Miguel O'Hara is explaining, and he's just like, he has no time for bullshit, like, because he's already seen what it can do. Like, the second half of the movie was insane.
Yeah.
Like,
looking back on that movie, not a whole lot of things happen. It's very, I think he goes to like 3 different locations for the most part, 3 or 4 different locations, and it's a slow build. But they just nailed it. I mean, it just built so well. We got a lot of really cool moments. I think the absolute coolest thing for me personally that they did that was kind of bold and different with this movie is we now have the live action elements in the Spider-Verse, which I don't think we saw in the first one, unless you count the popsicle that they showed for a couple seconds.
Oh yeah, they had the popsicle.
unless we're counting that.
Dude, I love that.
The cursed popsicle.
Yeah.
But
I saw one where it was like a Uncle Ben popsicle was melting on Instagram. This guy made it. It was that was his canon event.
Oh, that's awful. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. But we saw the Prowler, live action The Prowler from we're not sure what universe. I don't think it really matters. And it was Danny Glover, or is it not Donald Glover? Donald Glover, yeah.
Danny Glover.
I get those names confused.
Danny Glover. Sounds like an old shit.
We saw that, and that was really cool. There's a pretty cool cameo we see. It's also uses a live action actor as well. That I won't get into here, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then as far as cameos go, they did it. They put my boy Insomniac Spider-Man.
I think there was like 200 something. It's either 218 or 281 Spider people are in it. It's insane. And yeah, they had 2 Insomniac Spider-Man in it. They had the 3D, like the actual game model one, and then they had them drawn in like Across the Spider-Verse style when they're doing the pointing. It's in the trailer. You can see them. Like, so they did 2 of them.
Well, I think we actually see him 3 times then.
Really?
Because we see him first. When we see him first, he's like, "You talking to me?"
Yeah.
And
yeah, that was the big.
But he is animated in the PS4 style, there.
In that one.
Yes.
And then there's an Across the Spider-Verse version, or like the animation kind.
And when we were seeing all of the Uncle Bens in a row, we do see cutscene from the game, from the PS4 game.
I didn't catch that.
Of Insomniac Spider-Man.
Damn it, I missed it.
So yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. A lot of cool moments like that. And so it was cool seeing him in there for sure. I just know Beyond the Spider-Verse is just going to be so wacky.
Yeah.
We're going to see so much crazy stuff.
I love some of the animation details, like when him and Gwen are swinging and he almost hits that bus and he's like going, ah, and you see all the exclamation points falling.
Yeah.
Like just stuff like that is just like, it adds so much life to it.
It
like
really
its
does.
own thing. Like I said, I love seeing my boy Spectacular Spider-Man in it. I was
Yeah.
like, oh shit! And then you're like, dude, look in the corner. There's a live action one. Like,
Yeah, I missed the memo on Spectacular Spider-Man when I was growing up, but
Yeah.
I did watch Ultimate Spider-Man. I don't think that's one of the more popular ones.
no,
But
he was in it though.
really,
Yeah.
I missed that.
He's on the poster.
That's cool. That's cool. I'll have to look at that again. Speaking of Insomniac Spider-Man though,
Yeah.
the box art for the new game.
Yeah.
Has-
Pre-orders
has
almost
come out.
available.
Did you get a chance to look at the box art?
That's the like the
So
physical.
They're both swinging together, like on the cover.
Oh yeah. I've seen it.
Because you've got Miles and you've got Peter now. Two playable characters.
Yeah.
So I kind of wish there was more personality with the box art. I mean, it worked with the other two. It's like, okay, Marvel Spider-Man, we're gonna throw Spider-Man up there, red background, boom, call it a day. Miles Morales, we're gonna throw him in there. He's got his black suit on, get him a black background, boom, call it a day. And it's like, okay, so let's do something interesting with the next one, and it's just a red background with both of them swinging. So I don't know. It's not too bad.
Honestly, as long as I get the game, I don't care what the cover is. There we go.
Yeah.
Finally sneeze.
Oh, it's hitting me all at once.
Old Sneezy Johnson.
So definitely, if you have not seen the movie yet, which
Go see it.
I hope you have, because we've been talking about spoilers the entire time. Go see it. I've seen it twice now. It was great. I had a friend who saw it like 4 times. He's an absolute mad lad, but it's worth it. It's seriously
Mad
worth
lad.
it,
Jesus.
bruh. Mad lad's cool. I don't care what you
I
say.
know, not coming out of your mouth though.
Whatever, bro. Whatever. Other big news for us nerds. Star Wars Outlaws was
Yes,
revealed
new,
officially.
was it-
We
Who's
knew
working on that?
Ubisoft.
Yes.
So what it is actually, it's massive. Is the developers. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick. And we knew Ubisoft was working on an open world Star Wars game for a little while ago.
Yeah.
EA's license to, their exclusive license to Star Wars, ran out a little while ago. It expired.
Yeah.
And so what we have.
Because there's 2 Star Wars games being worked on right now. That's one of them. And then Star Wars Eclipse. That's like a interactive story game, correct?
Yes. So Star Wars Eclipse is a game that's we're probably not even going to see for another couple of years.
Yeah.
I hate when they reveal these games too early.
Yeah.
But the developers of Eclipse is Quantic Dream. They did games like Heavy Rain and Detroit Become Human.
Yeah.
So I mean that's what they do. They do the
Yeah.
interactive story-based games. I'm excited for it. I love those games.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. It'll be a couple more years before it comes out.
For
I
sure.
guarantee you that. But yeah, massive entertainment. It's running on Ubisoft's Snowdrop engine, just like the new Avatar game that's going to be coming out this December.
I saw some of the gameplay of that.
And we saw gameplay, 10 minutes, over 10 minutes of gameplay.
Mhm.
I got to say, Ubisoft has their issues. I don't think everything that they do is great, but I think their Ubisoft Forward event that they held yesterday was very good for the most part. Well, the show was kind of messy, but the games that they showed were great. I mean, we got Avatar, New Frontier, or Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, I think is what it's called. The new Assassin's Creed game's coming out, and then the big one that they ended the show with is Star Wars Outlaws. And so they have a lot of great games coming out.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even know that game was a thing until yesterday.
Really?
Yeah, I was gonna say you're more caught up in game news and like, just game details than I am. I only play a select few games, so it is kind of refreshing to hear all this
Mm-hmm.
from somebody who knows about it.
We didn't know anything about it really. We just knew like, hey, Ubisoft's working on a game or a Star Wars game. You know, we'll see what it's all about.
Yeah.
And I think it looks good.
Yeah.
I think it looks really good. I think it's promising. And I like that they're going a very distinctly different direction than the Jedi games, which is good.
Yeah.
Because we already have Jedi games.
Now,
you
I'm
know?
sure they use some mechanical things from that to help make it, like at least like terrain wise and stuff like that. Just like same mechanisms of like making a game, but it is its own thing. It's a whole different style
Yes.
of game.
Well, EA. So the Jedi games are completely separate from this.
oh, okay. Then
because-
maybe not.
Well, EA is the publisher of the Jedi games, and
Yeah.
then Respawn Entertainment is the developer.
Yeah.
Here, Ubisoft is publishing this. So, I mean, I'm assuming it'll be sort of canon. I mean, we know Jedi games. The Jedi games are canon.
Yeah.
Whether that's the same here or not, we'll have to see.
Yeah.
But it's gonna feel like a different game. It's gonna look. It's running on a different engine. Because Jedi is Unreal, and this is gonna be Snowdrop. And from what we saw in the gameplay, the terrain and the environments look very good. Like the materials, the textures and the environments look very good. The character models and some other things looked okay.
Yeah.
It didn't look bad. I just think a lot of these Ubisoft games look kind of similar.
There is a game I do want to talk about. This it's not on our
sure
notes, but after this,
we can definitely bring it up. And so Star Wars Outlaws. You're playing as what it looks like. They said thief. You're playing as a thief,
like a smuggler,
like smuggler. I'm getting like sort of like bounty hunter vibes.
I'm getting like Han Solo vibes.
Han Solo vibes. But it looks like what's gonna happen with this game is you have the character. I don't remember what her name is. Kay Vess, who is a scoundrel seeking freedom and the means to start a new life, along with her little pet companion Nyx. So you will fight, steal, and outwit your way through the galaxy's crime syndicates as you join the galaxy's most wanted. And there's a few things to take away from this, because we noticed in the gameplay, it looks like your character will have a reputation, depending on what syndicates that you right or wrong, what planets you've been to, the missions and quests you've done on different planets. So it looks like you're going to build a reputation, and you will also have specific reputation with certain syndicates.
Yeah. Because
we see her escaping a place, I guess one of the syndicates early on, and her reputation with them drops. So, and you can be wanted on different planets. It looks like it's going to be very, very dynamic. There is space flight. You can go through the entire process of leaving one planet and then entering into space. And then from there, you can have, ship battles and space battles. And then from there, you can also enter into hyperspace and travel to completely new corners of the galaxy. It looks ambitious. It looks like it's still rough around the edges.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to it. What do you think, Jared? I mean, what did you think about the gameplay we saw?
I think it looks sick. Now, I don't know a ton about it, and we'll hear more about it throughout the coming months until it comes out. But yeah, I'm kind of going into it blank. We'll see what it looks like. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's supposed to come out next year, 2024.
Okay. Cool.
We'll see. I've really liked that the Jedi games have not been open world. I enjoy more traditional linear-based gameplay. Because I think a lot of open-world games have a lot of bloat and things I don't really care about. But if this pulls off what I think they're trying to do, I think the open-world aspect's going to work really well for them. So we'll have to wait and see how it plays out.
They'll set a standard for like open-world games.
We'll see.
Well, if it works.
Fingers crossed.
Going back to that other... Are we done talking about?
Yeah, we can move on.
So going back to like we were talking about how it kind of looks rough around the edges. What I've noticed is a lot of these preview trailers for all these new games coming out, they look like they're running well and look really good. But as soon as you download it and play it on your PC, it runs like shit. And even then, if you have good equipment, like it just, you know what I mean, like the optimization. And what I've noticed is, this is a segue into it, Starfeild, that Microsoft just had their showcase. And I knew nothing about this game before it came out. And I watched it with my friend Braden, and like, dude, I'm so stoked for this game. Like, Bethesda's been working on this. They made a whole new engine for it, new animation process for it. Like, because in the past, like, Fallout animation just kind of looks weird when you're like third person and stuff like that. They redid all of it. They did a gameplay showcase. It looks really good. Each planet, like, you can have fleets of ships, you can build space stations. It's a story game though, and it's like, I'm so excited for this game.
Starfield looks awesome.
It does.
It's Bethesda. And of course, you're a big Fallout guy.
Lord and Savior Todd Howard.
You've spent more than enough hours playing Fallout. I mean, how many hours do you have in Fallout 4?
I have no idea. It's definitely
like 400, right?
It's somewhere around there.
I mean, a lot. It's pretty insane.
This is I have to confess, I haven't played Skyrim before. It is on the list. Trust me.
One day.
I have it downloaded.
One day you'll have to make some time for it. And I'm kind of opposite of you, where I've played some Fallout, but really I like Elder Scrolls. That's my thing. I've played a lot.
And
of
that's what I've noticed with people for Bethesda fans. You're either a Skyrim or a Fallout, but then there's people who like both. But mainly it's one or the other.
Yeah.
Just like Todd Howard says, it's not a bug, it's a feature. He doesn't say that.
Yeah, I know our good friend Braden's been looking forward to that game for quite a while.
Yeah.
I will. I'll probably get it. I don't know if I'll get it on release. It's just so much game. It's almost like I have to carve out some time to just sit down and play it.
I'm gonna pre-order it.
So
those are
we'll
the games I like though. I can get invested into it. That's why I like Fallout. Like I've done so many playthroughs on Fallout. Yeah, I'm gonna do it on Starfield.
I'm definitely wary of how that game is gonna perform on PC for a couple of reasons. The big one being that they've officially announced that on Xbox consoles it's gonna be capped at 30 FPS.
Yeah. So you're gonna probably need somewhat of a beefy system to play it.
Yes, if you want to hit a stable 60, which we'll see if that's even achievable on any PC when the game releases. But it's looking like if you want high-end graphics and stable 60 FPS and you're a PC gamer, you're gonna need to get a pretty beefy build there.
Yeah.
I've found myself shifting away from PC gaming just a little bit lately.
Because how costly it is to play good games, and it sucks because we're just advancing in technology, game-wise. But that means, a lot of the people who have PCs and stuff like that, they aren't because they're expensive. Graphics cards are like $1,500.
Well, but it's not even about that to me. To me, it's more about we're getting these PC ports and they're not performing well because these games. These games, they're designed for console and then they're brought over to PC. Like Star Wars Outlaws is a game I will be getting for my PlayStation.
Yeah.
Because I'm just not. I'm just sick of getting games for my PC and then they don't run. And so I got that with Jedi and I wish I could go back in time and get that game for my PS5 and not for PC.
Yeah.
Because I haven't even beat the game still because I can't.
They still haven't had another patch recently.
So
we brought this game up in 2 episodes.
Yeah.
And now 3.
I think that most big AAA games I will be getting for my PS5. Starfield's different because it's an Xbox exclusive, console exclusive. So if I get it, I'll get it for PC. I'm not gonna go out and buy an Xbox console just to play it.
Yeah, I'm not.
But I know a lot of people are upset about the game running at 30 FPS, and I'm really curious to see how that's gonna translate to PC performance. But the game
I'm wanting to build a new PC though at some point.
Yeah.
But I was pricing out on PC Part Picker, and it's just like, oh my god.
You Intel or AMD?
Oh, I'm an Intel guy.
Intel
but
guy.
then again,
Okay,
AMD is probably a better choice money wise. And they're basically on par, from what I've noticed, especially over the years.
The past 5 years or so, they've really gotten a lot better.
Yeah.
And they're great processors.
Yeah.
For sure. If you're only gaming, I think Intel's better.
Yeah.
Because Intel's better at doing one thing really well. If you are a creative and you have a lot of multitasking you're trying to do, maybe AMD is a better choice because it does multiple things at the same time very well. So it just kind of depends on what you're looking for.
Maybe that's what I need then. But then again, I'm only doing one thing at a time. I'm either using a game or Adobe Audition or Premiere Pro or YouTube. So I could probably be okay with Intel. But graphics cards are insane. They've come down from what they were. I remember when prices skyrocketed. For some reason, the 30 series is insane, and the 40 series and video cards are a little bit more reasonable. I was looking at a 4070 or 4080. 4070 Ti or 4080, just because I have a better job now and I want to build something that's going to last. The computer I have, it's been lasting for a while. I have a 2066 gig in it, but it's just I can tell it's time.
Well, that VRAM's probably killing you a little bit. That 6 gigs of VRAM.
Yeah.
Because a lot of games now require 10 plus gigs of VRAM for some of the higher settings. I have a similar build to you, and I'd like to upgrade at some point. It's still super capable PC, but out of the box, my PS5 is more powerful than my PC.
I think mine is,
because technically, a PS5 is equivalent to a 2080, I think, maybe a 2080 Ti, with I'm rocking a Ryzen 5 3600.
Yeah.
I definitely know that the PS5 CPU is more powerful than that. So it's I got my PS5. It's more powerful than my PC, and I can get games on it that are going to run better and more stably than on my PC. So it's like that's kind of why I'm shifting that direction. Plus, I like traditional console gaming. I like owning a physical box copy of my game. I like having it on my shelf. I like playing with controller. So, when it comes to AAA games, I think that's kind of the direction I'm heading right now. But regardless of all that, I didn't watch the Starfield Direct. Actually, which
I watched it after I got off work.
I will. I've heard it was really good. It was 45 minutes of just Starfield.
Yeah.
So, did you watch the whole thing?
Not all of it.
So from what you did see, I mean, what are your takeaways on it?
It looks really good. I mean, they delayed the game.
Again?
No. It was when they...
Okay.
No.
Again?
No, it comes out in September.
Okay. September or November?
September.
Okay.
I don't remember the day. But, yeah, they've really... this is... At first, I thought it was just kind of a filler game in between Elder Scrolls and the next Fallout is. But it's not.
No.
It's a whole new thing. I was dead wrong. Like, it looks good, and I love space and space travel games. Like, this looks awesome. And it's a story-driven game. So, I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, it's essentially, for the longest time, it's for when it comes to Bethesda, it's been, they got Fallout and they got Elder Scrolls, and now, I mean, this is like Todd Howard's like dream game.
Yeah, this is his own thing.
This is something I guess he's wanted to do for a long time.
8 years in the making.
And now he feels like it's finally, we're at the point with technology that we can do it now. And this is, it's all those classic elements you love from Fallout and Skyrim or Elder Scrolls in general. And we're getting it in a new space-themed game. So to me, that's exciting. Something that's concerning to me about this game, and maybe this is just me, and maybe I'm in my own little corner, but there's over 1,000 planets in this game, or like roughly 1,000 planets you can explore.
That I don't know the answer to. I know.
No, it's true. It's confirmed.
Now, all of them won't have life. I do know that.
Okay.
They said something about that. So
to me, that's just concerning because as a gamer who is not interested in spending time in like unnecessary time in open world games, I do not see how all 1,000 of these planets are going to be, either A, relevant, B, interesting, or C, have that handcrafted feel that like traditional level design would have.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, like, because I'm the kind of gamer who, I get a game, I want to play through it, I want to say that I finished the game, and I'm going to put it back on my shelf and then play the next game. I'm not interested in getting a game that is, takes 600 hours to play through because of the amount of content that they've done, and maybe most of the content isn't even that good. You know what I mean? So we'll see. I'm definitely interested in the game, and I'll definitely get it. I'm just curious, they're saying it's this massive game with, you can explore all these different planets and systems and whatnot, but is all of it going to be worth playing is the real question.
That's up to you to decide.
So we will have to wait.
Am I going to discover all 1,000 planets? Hell no.
Sure. But it's what it is. It's giving you a sandbox when you can go in there and you're just,
I like that they had that much though. But it is kind of concerning technically wise. Like, will I be able to run it? The game is like 126 gigs or something. Don't quote me on that. But it's in the 120 range. So it's less than Jedi Survivor. That's a game that we'll both look into. I guess you're gonna pre-order it, huh? Yeah. Now I'm not gonna get the big jumbo edition where you get the watch and the display case and the. Is
Braden gonna get that?
He already got it.
Yeah. Why does he spend money on these collector's editions of stuff?
You'll have to ask him tonight. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to make fun of him for that later. I don't know, man. I don't really care about getting die-cast statues of video game characters on my shelf for collector's editions. So
yeah,
we're not really into that.
As long as I can pre-order the game.
I just want to buy the game.
Yeah.
I want to have it on my shelf. I can say, oh, hey, look, I got the game.
You old shit.
Nah, dude. Physical media is better. It always has been and always will be.
I mean, I think it is until it messes up.
Bruh. All right, well, that's a whole other conversation we're not going to get into right now.
Jack is like, don't even get me started.
Don't even get me started on my thoughts on physical media. Well, speaking of space travel, we got 2 big space games coming up.
Yeah.
I think the question that everyone wonders at some point in their life, aliens, are they real?
Dude.
Jarrett, I want to hear from you. What is your take on this very serious subject?
My take on this very legitimate question. There's no way we're the only planet with life. You are stupid to think that.
I think you're fucking stupid.
No, there is no way.
No, I'm just kidding.
There is no way we're the only ones. Now, they're not green cartoon looking guys or gray. But there is. I promise there is. There has to be. And the amount of shit they're working on in Area 51, I'm telling you.
I've seen aliens before, and I can tell you who one of them is.
Okay, you in the mirror doesn't count.
No. I have met and conversed with an alien before on multiple occasions.
Bro, this is a load of horse shit.
And it's your dad.
Your dad's a fucking alien, dude.
No, bro.
Hey, son.
Oh,
What if they're the same person, but they just talk differently? Hey, bud. Hey, son.
You're trying to trip me out a little bit, to be honest.
But yeah, dude. It's always the late night, boys talks when we talk about aliens or Area 51 or shit like that. It always happens. And I know we're not the only friend group to have that. I'm positive there's life out there.
Yeah, I'm definitely of the mind that there has got to be intelligent life out there somewhere. Even if it's not across the table from me, there is intelligent life out there somewhere.
There has to be.
Yeah.
There's no way we're the only ones.
Did that just go over your head?
What? Dude, 100% went over. Dude, of course it did.
No, I said there might not be intelligent life across the table from me.
Shut the fuck up, dude.
But there is intelligent life somewhere out there.
Oh, man.
No,
I can't even be mad. That was good.
There has to be, and I think the big question that I've talked with people about is, okay, we think aliens are real. How they make contact with Earth at some point. Maybe they have, maybe they haven't. We don't really know. But if aliens did make contact with Earth, do we think that the governments, specifically the U.S. government, do you think that they would reveal that to the public, or do you think that they would keep it hidden? Because I can tell you what I think.
Well, didn't they release Pentagon UFO footage from fighter jets?
If they have, I've never heard of it.
They did. I think they did because CNN did something about it.
I'm not sure about that.
There's 100% Pentagon footage released. Now it's just them locking on to it while it's. There's one famous clip of it going over the water and shit. Mm-hmm. Now, do I know how true all that stuff is? No, I don't think any of us do.
Sure.
But
maybe it's real. I have not heard of that. But
yeah. If you Google it, you can see it.
Sure. But yeah, I'm of the mind that I don't think they would. I don't think they would tell us.
No, and if they do, it'd be 60 years later, and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, we found this," and they're gonna try and be nonchalant about it.
The government hides lots of things from us, man. And I think that if aliens were real,
non-related. I mean, not even non-alien related. There's so much stuff that we don't know that happens. For sure. There's military operations that we don't hear about. Which obviously, I get why they do it because they don't want the fucking citizens of the U.S. to go into frenzy.
Yeah. But see, I don't care about that, and I'm not gonna get too political, but I do think that the government. I think the idea that the government needs to protect us and shield us from information is stupid. I think hopefully I'm not wrong. I'm not a dumbass. I think I can handle some information that might be a little bit disturbing, So it's if we treat the U.S. people, like they're idiots, then I think that's a problem.
I agree.
So, but I guess the real question is, if an alien showed up right now outside your house and started attacking the neighborhood, what would you do?
Dude.
How would you defend yourself against it?
Dude, I don't know. That guitar's looking pretty beefy. I might use that.
Just beat it across the head.
Or my little bush knife.
If it even has a head, who knows what it's built like?
Dude. Maybe I just accept my fate,
Yeah. I feel like you're built like an alien.
Bro, shut the fuck up, you long torso motherfucker.
Yeah, people like to talk about what they would do if zombies attacked, and I think that alien attacks are like there's just no chance.
No, not at all.
Like I mean, it's like oh well, if the zombies, if the zombie apocalypse happened, I would just go to the mall and I'd fortify it, and it's just something stupid like that. And it's like aliens attack, like bro, they have fucking rays that dissolve you from like 1,000 feet away through any object it passes through. It's like what are you gonna do against that? Like I don't think there's much you can do.
No,
because if aliens attack, that means that they have the capability of intergalactic travel.
Yeah.
Which means that they're far more advanced than us, which means they're far more smarter than us, far more intelligent, and their technology is going to destroy anything we even have. So, yeah, if aliens attack, we're effed, bro.
We're done.
Just the way it is. It's just the way it is. There's nothing we can do about it. I guess since alien attacks are not survivable, what about a zombie apocalypse? How would you survive that? So right now, the news comes out that zombies are here. They're everywhere. What's your first move, man?
Didn't you mean Dayton talking about like an abandoned school because they have like bulletproof glass, and like or on his farm, like
maybe
one of those two places would be good, because they're just built so well, like.
Yeah, I mean, if we can get there without getting bit.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know. I think
just hungry, Jack. They want to bite.
Well, they're not gonna get a bite of me. I'll send them your way. But I think a school could be good. People say the mall. I think the mall is fucking stupid.
I do too.
First of all, by the time you get there, there's gonna be a ton of zombies already there. You know what I mean? It's like you cannot protect an entire mall. They will find a way in, man.
I mean, obviously, a military base is ideal, but like we don't have connections to that, so we're out here in the sticks. So
yeah, I don't know. I think a zombie apocalypse is doable. Just got to find a nice remote spot, hunker down, get some canned food. I think you'll be all right. So
it's gonna be the only time you make me eat chili.
yeah, bro hates chili. Chili's good, man. You're just picky guy. Picky guy.
Man. What can I say?
All right.
Okay. Sorry about that.
So we are now on to the part of the show where we talk about music, what we've been listening to, what we thought about the albums we were assigned last week, and
maybe that we didn't listen to the album assigned for last week.
we are going to assign to each other this week. So I've got my Spotify pulled up.
Okay.
I can see what I've been listening to. What have you been listening to, Jarrett? Just kind of in general overall.
Just right now?
Yeah. What is Jarrett listening to?
Well, I've been listening to that other Zach Bryan EP album you were playing the other night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, at least that one song. I've been listening to the live Springsteen album. Let's see. I think that's pretty much it. I've been kind of listening to the Across the Spider-Verse soundtrack, and then this Mumford & Sons song. That's pretty much nothing crazy right now.
Okay. I've got a couple of things I want to shout out.
Yeah.
So, we're talking about Jungle Land. Born to Run, I've had that playing a little bit. I haven't heard the whole thing from front to back, but I've been playing stuff off of that. Great album. Spider-Verse has definitely rubbed off on me.
Yeah.
So I've been playing both Metro Boomin's soundtrack and the official score by Daniel Pemberton. Both really cool. This one's kind of lame, kind of cool, depending on how you look at it. But Jarrett, do you like sea shanties?
When I'm with the boys, yeah.
When you're with the boys,
but not by myself, no.
So Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Yeah, we were listening to that on the way home from the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, the sea shanty soundtrack. Dude, there is some bangers on here. Lever Johnny is a banger. Okay, that's the best sea shanty I've ever heard in my life. That's really cool.
Fucking sea shanty.
I have got to shout out this artist because I think she is one of the most interesting artists out right now, like working right now. Her name is Lingua Ignota. I don't know if this is a project of hers or if her name is actually Lingua Ignota. She has a couple really good albums. This one is called Sinner Get Ready, and the entire album is, I mean, she's classically trained, and it is extremely dark and unsettling album.
Oh.
But it's also very hopeful and uplifting in the same ways. It is a disturbing listen, I would say. Brace yourself for it. A lot of industrial, a lot of noise, but a lot of classical. Just once again, she's classically trained, so a lot of just, peaceful. She's got great vocals. There's a song called "Pennsylvania Furnace," which is one of the best songs I've ever heard in my entire life.
Really?
I'll have to show it to you whenever we wrap up here. And then I've been playing some Andy Schaaf. I love that guy. Singer-songwriter.
I think you mentioned him last time.
Multi-instrumentalist. Was playing his newest album, Wilds, which came out in 2021, which I'm liking quite a bit. My brother got me into a band called the Backseat Lovers.
Oh, you played a couple of their songs. I like their sound.
Yeah. Pool House is really cool. They have a couple other ones. Kilby Girl is like their biggest song. So just I've only heard like surface level of their stuff.
I need to listen to them.
Really been liking that. So, but yeah, I mean, just ton of different things, obviously. Yeah. I know you gave me Men Amongst Mountains by the Revivalists, and I liked it quite a bit. It kind of had like a lighter alternative feel to it, which I liked. Like, it wasn't very aggressive, which I actually thought was kind of interesting. It definitely feels like it would be a change of pace for you.
It was
as far as the album goes.
It was.
Some tracks kind of reminded me of Hozier. If Hozier was less if Hozier was less like aggressive and like his vocals were less harsh, it was just lighter, and I kind of liked it. I did know the song. Is it Used to Know You or Wish I Knew You?
That's it. Wish I Knew You.
Wish I Knew You.
That's a good ass song.
I'd heard that before. I didn't know that they did it or anything. I'd heard it in passing, which I thought it was a really good song. But yeah, I like the album. I guess you didn't listen to the the Weezer album, because this guy says he doesn't like Weezer.
No, I was like, I don't like Weezer, but I'll listen to it, and I just never got to it. Yeah. So there is a song by Weezer that I do know. It's Mexican Fender. It's actually funny. I got two of them on the wall.
Oh, I don't know that song.
Yeah, that one actually. That one's a good song. It's not off that album, but Weezer's got a distinct sound that I think it's cool. It's just not my like vibe of rock. I guess it's not my type of rock.
Okay. Well, you didn't give it a chance, did you?
Yeah, I know, because Goldfish brain. But
cool, man. Well, I have an album picked out.
Okay.
For you to check out. So
hold on.
we'll give you a second to get that figured out.
Yeah.
But this is one of my favorite albums. This is a top 10 album.
Really?
So neither the Weeknd album or the Weezer album were nearly that high up for me. This is definitely a top 10 album for me.
Okay.
It is Currents by Tame Impala.
Currents?
It's called Currents. It is so good. It's part alt rock, definitely like synthwave influence going on, like a lot of electronic influence on this album. Just sonically, it has such a cool sound that I'm such a fan of. It's such a cohesive album listen.
Yeah.
Every song just kind of transports you. So I'm really curious to see what you'll think about it. You definitely know at least one of these songs on here.
Okay.
Less I Know the Better, Tame Impala. If you'll see.
I'll probably recognize it, but
so yeah, definitely a top 10 for me. It's 50 minutes long, so
okay.
So yeah, very cool.
I have mine for you. Do you? I mentioned it last time. How much Cage the Elephant do you know? Besides Broken Boy.
Very little.
Okay. I want you to listen to just Cage the Elephant, the one that came out in 2008, the expanded edition.
Okay.
That whole album, it's got like Ain't a Rest for the Wicked on it. But my favorite is James Brown. It's the second track.
Ooh.
It's good. I like that album.
Well, I will definitely check it out. I've liked what I've heard from them.
Yeah.
So,
this is the one you showed me a long time ago.
I showed you
with
that.
Broken Boy. Yeah, on the way home
Oh
from Dayton's house.
yeah, that song.
You showed me that. That one's good. But that album is the one I want you to listen to.
Very cool. Well, I will give it a listen for sure.
Could you send me the?
Yes, I will send that to you.
Okay.
But I think that about does it. I think
yeah.
we hit on a bunch of cool stuff today.
Heck yeah.
So we will hit you back next week. We should be able to do
We're
next
in kind
week.
of a weird schedule right now because we were on a camping trip.
A lot of things are happening. I know we've got a film shoot coming up and a couple other things. So but we should hit you back next week. So but yeah,
I'm not sure what day this one will come out, but pretty soon.
Yeah. So. Thanks for checking it out. And we'll see you next time.
Hell yeah. Peace.